Hi y'all, this is Dina. Welcome back to my channel, Pursuing Peace. And in today's video, we're just going to chat a little bit about what we've been up to these last few months. A lot of things have changed in this household. And so we're just going to chat a little bit about that. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons why we like to homeschool. So stay tuned. Okay, well, hi guys. Man, I feel like I've been away from YouTube for forever, and it's only been a couple of months, but I'm great to be back and share with you everything that we have gone through the last few months. And if you have watched any of my videos, you know that we were in the process of moving. We're a military family, so we moved across the country, and I was 9 months pregnant. And so we had a baby in between there, and birthdays and all kinds of crazy things, hospital visits and all kinds of crazy things that happened. So I'm gonna give you a life update. But first, I wanted to share with you a few reasons why we decided to homeschool. Now, obviously there's a lot of reasons why people decide to homeschool, and it's different for everybody. So these are the reasons why we chose to do it, and your reasons might be different. In the comments below, let me know your top reason to homeschool. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. When we first decided to homeschool, it was more for the idea of that we wanted to shelter our kids. And we might have not used that word, but we wanted to kind of protect them from, you know, the bad guys out in, I don't know, public school and in private school and, you know, everywhere. So we just wanted to protect them from anything bad that they might encounter. But as I started to homeschool, our reasons changed, and I grew to learn more about myself as a God-fearing woman, myself as a mother, myself as a wife, and my reasons started to evolve from that. And so our reason to kind of shelter no longer really exists, because I do believe that we're supposed to be a light to our community and a light to those around us. So if we keep ourselves in a bubble, you know, in our Christian bubble, then we're not really being a light to anybody else around us. So my reasons for homeschooling have definitely changed. And so let me go ahead and share with you a few things. The first one is probably flexibility. Like I said before, we're a military family, so we move a lot. We've actually moved about 8 or 9 times in the last 10 years. So our lives are a little bit crazy. We're hoping to stay here for a few years. We'll see what God has planned. But one of the main reasons I like to homeschool is for the flexibility. We can start school early. Like for instance, when we moved right in the middle of the fall semester. And so we started school early, and we took 2-ish, maybe 2.5 months off. And then we can start up again. We actually this year, here's an example of flexibility. This year we had Thanksgiving away from family, and so we actually had Thanksgiving on Friday with some other believers here in our town. So Thursday was just kind of a extra day, and we decided to have school on Thursday. So while everyone was having delicious turkey and eating and celebrating with their family, we were having fun school, and my kids didn't care. And everybody was fine, because we knew we were going to be able to spend time with our Christian family on Friday. So it was completely fine. I didn't have to worry about them missing that day of school or not staying caught up with everything or anything like that. So and as far as the consistency, so much changes where we live, our homes, our neighborhoods, how close we are to family. Like, so much changes. Just in the last 2 years, we've moved probably about 3 or 4 times. And so I would have had to pull her out of school, put her in another school for like 6 months, and then pull her out again. And then it's insane. So much is changing around us. I like being able to have a consistency of, okay, this is what we do, this is how we homeschool. And so it's not so much change all at once. Another reason I really love homeschooling is kind of redeeming my education. Now, I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, I had such a horrible education. I went to a private school, but I mean, we forget a lot, and when we're going through that, we're going through school, and I know for me, I didn't take it seriously always, and so I missed a lot, or I just, ran through the subjects or ran through the work and didn't really pay attention to what it really meant. And as long as I got good grades, I could just keep going. And so I actually graduated early from high school, but it's not because I'm this super smart genius. It's because I could get the work done. And as long as I could get the work done, then I graduated. But it didn't mean I was really learning anything. And I didn't realize that at the time. And you don't appreciate that at the time. So being able to come alongside my kids and tailor to their individual needs, and being able to make learning fun for them and make learning more of a lifestyle instead of something, you just go to a building and this is where you learn, and then when you're out, you don't have to learn anything else. No, for us, like, learning is life. We're learning all the time, whether we're reading or watching TV or just going out to, taking a walk, we are just learning always. And so this kind of goes into my next point, that I also love knowing what they're learning, like knowing exactly what they're learning, because I can point things out to them. Say we're learning the shapes of leaves, so when we're outside and they'd say, hey mama, look, that's an oval shaped leaf or a cleft shaped leaf, then I understand what they're talking about. And then I can extend that learning experience throughout all of life. And then one of my favorite reasons to homeschool is that there are no lunches to pack and there's no homework. So when we are done with our book work, then we're done for the day and we don't have to worry about it. And I don't have to worry about packing lunches the night before or anything like that. Now, we do take lunches to Classical Conversations, and so I do have to worry about that, but I'll tell you, I am stressed out on Monday nights figuring out what I need to take for lunch, and I can't even imagine having to do that every day for 5 days a week. And so not having to pack lunches is really why I homeschool. And being able not to have homework, so when David comes home from work, he can come and just spend time with our family, and we can all spend time together, and we don't have to worry about, well, do the kids have to do homework, and do we need to get this done and that done or anything. We can just focus on spending time with each other or focus on ministering to others. And last but not least, one of the main reasons is I enjoy having my kids at home. And it's a little bit chaotic. We have 5 kids, 6 and under, and it gets a little bit crazy. And I've come to realize that's just the season of life that we're in. We've got 5 little ones. And so that's just kind of how it's going to be. They all talk on top of each other, and we're working on that. There are fights, there's spilled milk all over the place. So it's just where we're at right now, where God has us right now, and trying to still pursue His peace in the middle of all of that is what I'm trying to learn right now. But I love being able to have them all home and kind of on that journey with me of, okay, it is crazy right now, but we're all learning to work together, to love each other, to put Christ first before anything else, and we're all doing that together. I also love having them at home because they can see my ministry, and one of the things, a part of my ministry is being a light to my kids. And so if they're gone away from me for most of the day, then it'd be harder for me to do that. And they can see me doing my Bible studies. They can see me putting Christ first throughout the day. When I go take things to neighbors, or when we go spend time with another family, then they're there and they can see us being servants to others too. And I'm not saying you can't do that if you have your kids in a more traditional school, but I'm realizing having them at home with me has been such a blessing for me and such a big reminder to me that I need to be consistently spending time with the Lord and consistently spending those moments with Him and putting Him first, because when I don't, then it gets real crazy real fast. Okay, so those were my reasons why we homeschool. If you have any questions about those, just let me know. But again, in the comments below, I'd love to hear what your top reason for homeschooling is. Or if you have your kids in a private school or public school or anything else, I'd love to know your top reasons for that too, because there's no real right or wrong way to do it. You need to trust on God and ask Him for guidance and wisdom and have Him lead you to where He wants you to be. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. So now here's more of a life update. If you've seen any of my other videos, we used to have 4 kids, and now we have 5 kids. My little baby Emily Grace was born on October 31st. Yes, she was a Halloween baby. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. It's fine. I've come to terms with it. People might not like this. I don't like Halloween. It's probably my least favorite holiday. And my birthday is around Halloween. And so all throughout growing up, every time we went somewhere for my birthday, like SeaWorld or anything like that, they always had this creepy music and people kept jumping out and trying to scare you and stuff. And I was like, it's my birthday. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be scared on my birthday. It's so Halloween has always ended up being my least favorite holiday, but that's not to say we don't do anything for it. Like, we pass out candy, and this year my kids got to go to a I don't know, it's called a trunk or treat or something, but the grandmas were here, so they got to go to one of those at a church where they have just fun activities for the kids to do, and they got candy. We still have Halloween candy. That might just go in the trash, to be honest. But anyway, so one of the big things that happened is that we had our 5th baby, but we also moved across the country. We moved from Arizona to South Carolina, and it took us about 2 weeks to do that because we stayed and we visited family along the way and friends along the way and just different churches and spiritual family that we just love, and we wanted to spend time with them and encourage them as we were driving through all the different states. And so we did that, and I was about 9 months pregnant. We got to South Carolina, we got to our home, and 2 weeks later it was my due date. And so we had to find a doctor quick and, get checked and, figure out all of that stuff and then move into our home. And thankfully we had my mom and my mother-in-law come with us for the entire trip. And when we got to our new house, they were able to unpack because I was feeling so tired and so ginormous, and I couldn't move very well. And so, but they were able to unpack and just take care of the kids. When we went to the hospital, I had to be induced because they were just scared because of my age, and they didn't want me to go past my due date too much. I did end up going past my due date just a little bit, but everything was fine. She was healthy, I was healthy. We were able to come home. The grandmas were able to be here with the kids, and at that point, my father-in-law was here too. So we had so much help, and community is so important to us. So we found a church right away, and we joined a small group right away, so that way we could build community before the baby came. And it was just wonderful. They brought over meals for us afterwards, and they just loved on us. And we were pretty much strangers to them. 2 weeks in, and they're bringing meals to us, and they're offering to take care of our kids. And I just love that. I love that God built us for community. And I would encourage you, if you haven't found a community of believers within your area, then please do. It's what we're built for. It's how God made us, for Him and then for others. And so, sorry guys, this is like super chatty. But okay, so where was I at? So we had the baby, we moved into the house, everything seemed to be going pretty smoothly. And then maybe about a week after I came home, I started feeling a little bit weird, like my legs started feeling really swollen, like feeling swollen. It wasn't that I could see them visibly swollen, but like I could feel them swelling up, and that was such a weird feeling. And I started feeling some sort of chest pain, and so we called our nurse advice hotline because we have TRICARE, we're military, and she said to go to the ER. And so we went, and I've been to the ER so much just for different things, and I honestly thought that they were just going to tell me, okay, it's just because you were pregnant, and just go home and rest and it'll all be fine. But then they got serious real quick, and the doctor came in and said that I had something called HELP syndrome, and it's a type of preeclampsia, and it's very rare apparently. Usually you get preeclampsia before the pregnancy, and delivery, having the baby, is the cure for it. But I had it after I had the baby, which was a blessing in itself, just because it could be very dangerous to yourself and to the baby when you're pregnant. And so it wasn't any danger to the baby. So that was wonderful to know that the baby was safe and at home with grandmas and grandpas. And so HELP syndrome is kind of like I had high blood pressure, which I've never had high blood pressure in my entire life. I've always had kind of more on the lower side of blood pressure. I had elevated liver enzymes, and that's what actually was the chest pain, was that my liver was just kind of not very happy. So they gave me all kinds of medicines. They put me on everything. They put me on magnesium, which if you've ever been on magnesium, that's not the most wonderful feeling in the world. It really is kind of weird, kind of a weird feeling, but it wasn't, the worst thing in the world. And my husband was able to be with me throughout all of it because we had our family in town. And so that was just amazing. So I ended up being in the hospital for about 5 days. They were going to send me home the day before, but my blood pressure was going crazy again. And so they kept me another day, gave me additional medicine, and then they said I was good and I can go home. And so I went home, and I've had appointments since then. And things are just a little bit weird with my body right now. I'm not really sure what's happening. My legs are feeling like tingly, and my knees are burning. Like it's almost like they're swelling on the inside, because they don't seem like they're swelling on the outside. And so I'm just having kind of a weird time of recovery after this pregnancy. And so if I could ask you guys if y'all could pray for me, I would really appreciate it. I'm feeling almost back to normal, but it's still concerning. My blood pressure is still a little bit elevated, and I'm having these weird feelings in my legs, and just things that have never really happened to me before. And so I'm just kind of, I don't know if I'm concerned or what's going on, but I do trust that, God's got everything under control. It's all in His plan. So yeah, so if y'all could pray for me, that'd be great. But we're doing well. We have almost settled into our new house. I've almost got the schoolroom ready. We are so close to getting it done, and when that's done, I will definitely put up a video of how I organized it and decorated it and everything. I'm having so much fun with that. So yeah, so thank you guys for letting me just share with you guys what's been going on in our lives. And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you get notified whenever new videos pop up. I'm hopefully going to start putting videos up every week again, and normally my video weekday is Fridays, I believe. I'm not sure. Like I said, things are still a little bit crazy, so please forgive me if I'm not consistent every Friday. If you want to see what we're up to and see pictures of our new home and of our new baby, follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing peace. So alright guys, well thanks so much for joining me today. I'm sorry it was such a long video, but I'll see you next time. Bye.